Welcome to the Sideline. I'm Andy Katz. Well, this is going to be a home for a lot of original content in college sports and beyond. Now, of course, you're going to get a lot of that similar content that I produce for NCAA platforms, Big Ten Network, and other places. But I needed a home for a lot of those interviews with the newsmakers in this space. So where are you going to find it? Right here at the Sideline. Let's get to it. And welcome, everyone, to an off-season chat with Mike Bibby, the head coach of Sacramento State. And Mike, a lot to unpack here. First off, curious. I mean, obviously, you have great history with the Kings there, but what was it about Sacramento State that drew you to this job to try to get this program to that next level?
Well, it's crazy, Andy, because 4 years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, when the job opened, I reached out to Mark Orr, like, hey, I'm the right guy for this job. I've been waiting for this spot, since Sacramento, where I spent a bulk of my career and had the best parts of my career at. And I just thought it was the right time. And I thought it was the right place for me to be, being in Sacramento. I thrive in places where I'm comfortable. And, I played here for 7 years and I was comfortable here. And, came back around again for the second time. And I was like, oh, yeah, I need this one. And so I think it was just the right place. Like I said, I always said it was God's timing. It wasn't right the first time, the first go around. But then, the second time came around and, they hired Coach Marion for football. And, what Dr. Luke Wood and Mark Orr are doing to this sports program, is second to none. And we're looking to blast off, this year.
Well, so look, Mike, I'm very familiar with the Cal State system. I covered Fresno State for 4 years, so I lived in the state, and really only San Diego State and Fresno State, and Fresno State obviously been struggling in hoops, and they've had their moment in football, but there's been few state programs within the Cal State system that have been able to consistently sustain success outside of maybe San Diego State. So what is it about Sacramento State that you really believe this is the time, this is the place for this program to be a winner on a consistent basis?
It's just, with Mark and Dr. Luke, what they're doing for the program is second to none. Everything that I've tried to make this a top program, what we're competing with these other schools is, we need a locker room done. We need the weight room done. We need a training room done. And there's never been no, I don't know. I don't think we could get that done. We're looking to turn into one of these big programs. And I think with like hiring Coach Marion, what he's doing with football, and the guys that, bringing me in here and the guys that I'm bringing in here that are coming from different schools in the portal and high school and stuff. We still have to go out there and play the games. It looks good on paper, but I think once we get these guys going, I think we could make a big splash in this conference.
Yeah, and so to that point, having alignment, that hasn't always been the case at all these various Cal State schools, from president on down. Funding is always an issue. You've got a big name. You've reached out to Shaq in some sort of role that I want to talk about here for a moment. But why do you think you are specifically the right person at the right time? And you talk about league affiliation, that's also changing too.
Yeah, it is. We'll transfer to a different conference next year, but just I've been to a place where a lot of these guys are trying to go, and I think former players don't think they get the credit I think they deserve, that coming in and can teach. But you got a lot of guys that know the game but can't teach it. I could teach the game. I love to coach. I love to teach. I love to get these guys a strong mental game, and it's all the way around. I just think I'm the right person for this job. Like you said, I played here for 7 years, and it's getting a lot of hype. We're getting a lot of boosters coming back around, a lot of donors, a lot of former players that are coming in that haven't been asked to come back and watch practices and come to games. So, we're on the up and up right now, Andy. And like I said, we got to go out there and play the game. And I think once we go out there and play these games and show everybody that, we're bringing a different culture to this program, it's gonna be a downfall.
All right, so walk me through the connection with getting Shaq on board, and in what way?
It was, I have talked to a guy that worked out his son, and he was like, I'm good friends with the guy. He's like, hey, I got, Shaquille O'Neal here, and what would you think about coming? I'm like, would he come here and play? And he's like, yeah. And it was the call. I mean, he was our first recruit that we signed. And, after a couple of weeks, it came to my thing, like, no, maybe we could get Shaq in here to, kind of do what these other guys are doing with these programs as far as being a general manager and help raise money, come and help do fundraising, and just talk to people. Shaq's, a lot of these people got a lot of, they got Steph, they got Trey Young at the school, but those guys aren't Shaq. I mean, Steph, those guys, you can't look down on those guys, but Shaq, I think is the best center to ever play the game. And, it was an easy call. And it was like, hey, Shaq, what do you think about being a general manager of our school? And he was just like, I like that idea. Let me know what it entails. And it was that simple of a call. And, ever since then we talk, we FaceTime almost every day, and just ways to try to make this program better and for him to be a part of it. Kind of crazy for him being on the Lakers and me being on the Kings, and now we're partners, and being big time rivals back then. So it's just good. And you can't tell Shaq what to do. Like everybody always asking, well, what is he gonna do? What does he want to do? I said, Shaq could do Shaq. If Shaq wants to send some bubble gum over here, he can send some bubble gum for us. But Shaq is gonna do what Shaq wants to do. We'll always ask him like, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think? Can you do this? Can you do this? But as far as you could go, it's like you just got to ask him, see what he's willing to do.
All right. So in this short amount of period of time, you're saying you're FaceTiming almost every day. What have been, areas in which he has contributed thus far, and maybe what are you hoping will happen as the year unfolds?
He's met donors. He has a big event coming up this weekend out here in Sacramento that he'll come and he'll make his rounds to all the people that want to meet him and all the stuff like that. And he's giving money. He's helping rebuild all the locker room, helping the stuff with the training room and stuff like that. So he's putting his bids and stuff. Where we got other stuff going that I don't really want to say right now until it gets done. But he has a big imprint on what's going on here.
Well, that's great to hear because, as I said, any kind of state school, you're going to need, I don't care who it is, you're going to need outside money. You can't rely just on the state funding. The roster, one of the few programs in the country, you are literally starting from zero. Roster management is a word. There are words that all coaches now have to deal with. So you get the job and you're at zero. Like, how did you get from zero to fulfilling this roster?
It was tough at first. A lot of the guys, you never know. Like what I've learned, even from back then, like when you get a new coach in, coaches really want the kids that they recruit. They want the kids that they play for, that they get their eye on and see and want to bring them into play. So a lot of these guys had jumped in the portal when I got hired anyway. And, the thing was, and I just told like the AD, like, hey, just, see what they want to do, but it's probably better if they go to the portal and get a chance to play. So, since the first day I got the job, Andy, it was like 200, 300 videos right out the gate. Like, hey, I got this kid. So, we didn't have a lack of effort of trying to get kids. We had kind of our pick, and it was just kind of like go out there and recruit them. And, my assistants had done a great job. I couldn't look at every video, and I'd pass, those 200 videos to them and like, hey, whatever guys stick out, send to me and let me know, and I'll give the final result, and we'll go from there.
All right, so tell me about this roster. Who do you have?
It's good. We got a lot of guys that I think we're guard heavy. We're going to play a lot of four guard game. 4 guards, 1 big man. Maybe even play 5 guards at one time. But guards now, Andy, are 6'8", 6'7", so those would be our guards. So they could also play big if we need to, but we're going to play a up and down type of game, and as far as pressure the ball, try to make our defense turn into our offense. I want to try to average close to 90 points a game and just get the ball up and down the court, put pressure on these guys, be in shape to where you get out and run, kind of like the Loyola Marymount teams, with Paul Westhead and those guys, just get out there, get shots up. We're a really athletic team, and just kind of use that to our advantage to get out in the open court.
Any names that we're going to want to remember by February?
I don't want to pick anybody out because everybody's still got to line up. Everybody, I'm very even keel on these guys. I don't give nobody from the top player to the bottom player, I want these guys to feel like everybody's important, and just having them go out there and work hard. And you never know when your time will come.
So all 5 starting positions up for grabs.
Yes.
Okay. Let me go back here to 97. National championship for Arizona. What do you remember most about that?
The thing I remember most is just being in the situation. I'm a freshman coming in, and my thing was, we had a lot of good players, a lot of good guards, and my thing was like I was trying not to step on any toes. I came in there, my freshman year, I averaged like probably 13 points a game, and we almost lose the first 2 games in the tournament. Charleston, and I forget what the other school is, but we almost lose the first 2 games. And I remember after that, Coach Olson comes to me in front of the whole team and says, "Mike, we need you to play basketball. We need you to play what we recruited you for. Play that way." And ever since then, you could see a switch kind of turned on for me after that game. I think we played Kansas after that, and you could just see how much more aggressive I was, and just to go ahead from the head coach and just like in front of the whole team, give me confidence. Play your game, play basketball, play hard, play what we brought you here to do. And it kind of opened up everything for me. And after that, you see what happened after that. Got player of the year the next year in the conference, and ended up going to the NBA.
Winning a national championship, in your illustrious career, where do you put that moment?
Probably after my getting drafted. Probably my best thing is getting drafted into the NBA, and the second I'll probably say would be a national championship.
Why is that?
Just because a lot of people don't get that spot. We weren't expected to win in my freshman year, but expected to win in my sophomore year. So we win in our freshman year, and we don't win in our sophomore year. So it's not guaranteed. A lot of teams don't even get a chance to play in the tournament. So it's just like a situation to where it's like a once in a lifetime thing.
I had the pleasure of covering the late great Lute Olson so many times. Had a great time once. I did a little walk and talk with him in Tucson. Got to know him really well. For those in this generation that didn't see him coach, don't fully grasp his impact, what was his impact on you and the game?
It was just he was. I've seen looking back at it now. My son went through college, and just to see some of the stuff, I have a lot of kids that went through college. Just to see some of the stuff that they go through, I was blessed to be with a coach like Coach Olson, as far as he didn't limit you to what you can and can't do. He would let you play basketball. He never cut you down. He never told you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. And he cared about us. You could tell that he cared about us. You look nowadays, like you could tell like the coach is just here. Okay, I'm gonna have this kid for whoever and how long. I'm just gonna let them go out there and play. And I don't think that's the way that college coaches should be. College coaches should give these kids a second home, a second father figure to them, to let them kind of grow as a kid and as a young man. And a lot of these coaches don't do that. My son went through that, most of his college career, and it's just sad to see that some of these coaches take the love of the game away from these kids. And he put that and instilled in me, like, I love the game. He made me push myself harder. He gave me confidence to be a better player, and I looked up to that. And just like the family setting that he had when I got there, I was a mama's boy, and so Bobby going there, and Bobby told my mom, "I'm gonna take care of him, no worries." Just being in that situation, knowing that I'm gonna be taken care of and looked after.
Bobby was his
the late ex-wife, yes.
Yeah.
So, and it was like, it meant a lot to me, and so I kind of tried to instill the same kind of home situation for them. I put these kids, try to get them food and try to feed them as much as I can that I'm allowed to, and just try to have them in situations to where they're comfortable and they feel like, okay, this is Sacramento. If anything happens, Coach Mike will take care of me.
What about in the NBA? Who were your mentors in the NBA?
I liked Rick Adelman was great, and Mike Wisdom was great. It was 2 different coaches. Rick Adelman was great, but he wasn't going to give you a lot off the court. I mean, it was like he's the mastermind on the court, but he wasn't going to give you too much talking or knowledge outside the court. I mean, off the court. Mike Woodson was kind of more. I mean, it might have been because I was older. I went with Mike Woodson in Atlanta. Towards my later years, and it was just like I was always in his office. He'd always ask me questions like, how the guy's feeling. We're tired. Okay, we'll just do this today. And there's a funny story because he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go light a fire under their ass today just to get these guys going." So I'm like, "Okay, you better make sure you pick the right guy because I don't want you to get beat up in there, Woody." And he went in there. He went to the wrong guy. They had to hold the other guy back, and we went into his office afterwards. And he was like, "That was good." I was like, "You're lucky the coach is holding it back because he was about to kick your ass." So I mean, it was a good situation. Like he wasn't more of a player's coach. Like he'll joke with you. I mean, he was a former player as well. So I mean, you get a lot of these former players that know the game, know how to talk to you outside the court and stuff like that.
Well, and he just took an assistant's job with
In
the Kings.
Sacramento, yes, yes.
So what are the chances that, with him in the same city, I know not the same team, but you can bounce things off of him going forward?
Yeah, I'm gonna have him come over to a few practices and have him look at some stuff. I already talked to him about some stuff already since him being in college already for a few years and stuff. I mean, he's gonna come over here and help me a little bit. And I ran to him a few times over at the condo where I'm at. So I mean, he still act like he can fight. I'm like, come on, you're almost 70 years old. You might be able to get broken up a little bit, but I mean, he's fun and just the way he's going to bring the fun back to the game for Sacramento, the way that how when we were there, he got Bobby back, and I mean, I think bringing those guys back in and former players that played there is going to help tremendously.
Hey, you brought up the Lakers Kings. Again, not to date myself, but I wonder if people don't fully appreciate how good you guys were. Because today's NBA fan, the younger, they don't get it. Sacramento's not on nationally as much. What was it like when the Kings, when that place was rocking and you're competing with the Lakers to be the best in the West?
It's crazy because I played in Vancouver for 3 years, and so I mean, when you get these games, it's like when teams come to town, Vancouver Grizzlies coming to town. Those are tickets that people used to give away. You know what I mean? So I remember my last 2 years in Vancouver, our last two games were in Sacramento. And I remember coming out, no one ever used to come watch us play. We'll probably have 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people at the game. And coming to Sacramento, I remember coming out and I remember looking around like, wow, like there's 19,000 people, 18,000 people here, like to see us. And like, it never happens. So that happened 2 years in a row. And I remember, rest in peace, Michael Heisley, he was the owner of the Grizzlies. And he was like, Mike, we're planning on a move. Give me 5 teams you would want to get traded to. And I told him, I said Sacramento, Phoenix, because I'm from Phoenix, and just certain places that I would want to play. And he's like, well, give me the number one place you would want to go. I told him Sacramento. And, a couple months passed, the draft comes, like right after the draft comes. And I remember my brother got a few calls from Sacramento, and I was in the gym. It was probably like midnight, and I'm in the gym working out. And when you get traded, you get a call from both places. So I was like, I didn't get traded. My agent would have told me. So I went to my phone and I got a call from 916 and I got a call from 604. So I'm like, I got traded. So I called him like, yeah, you got traded. And it was the most, I mean, it re-jumped my career because I remember I was in Vancouver and the guy walked me, was like, hey, Mike, whatever happened to you? Why aren't you playing anymore? And I'm like, I'm in my second year in Vancouver. I'm still playing. You know what I mean? So it kind of it restarted my career. And like I said, this is second home to me. I played 7 years, 6.5 of my 14 years here. So, I mean, it was just like great coming home. I have a lot of friends and family out here still that I talk to. So, I mean, I'm comfortable here.
Hey, 2 last things, Mike. And one is that what I love also is that you've put in the time. And we've seen some coaches who were successful NBA players either going back to their alma mater or trying to go college, and they didn't have an apprenticeship because they figured, hey, I play the game. I was this great, I'll just go in, I'll coach, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't work that way. What was it about your time as an assistant that prepared you to be a head coach?
I mean, it's just I've always been, Andy, my mentor is I'm a head coach. I love to teach. My thing is I love to teach and get these kids better. That's not what's happening today. You get like, we're still working on with the team here, like little stuff that I was teaching my high school, and these kids don't know it. You know what I mean? Few of these kids are seniors, juniors in college, and they don't get taught anything. So my thing is I love to teach them. I want to get them when they get to that next step, if they get to that next step to where, okay, this kid got taught, he knows what he's doing, and give him the benefit of the doubt. That might get you pushed up a little bit farther than a guy that just has athleticism or something like that. But I mean, I like to put in the work, man. I didn't want it easy. You know what I mean? I've been trying to coach for 10 years now, and I finally got the chance. And, I'm grateful to Mark Orr and Luke for giving me the chance. And, my thing is I don't want to let them down or our kids down.
And lastly, it's changed dramatically since you last played in college. Mm-hmm. It's a whole new world with the portal, with NIL, now rev sharing. You got to make sure everyone's motivated for the game, not the money, and strike that balance. So how were you prepared for this complete 180 in college athletics from when you played in the late 90s?
I mean, you got to talk to these kids. You got to keep them hungry. I think I'm glad. I mean, a little money would have been good for me, like just so I could eat, so I wasn't struggling to eat when I was in college. But I think if I would have got too much money too early, I would have lost my hunger. And I think that's what a lot of these kids is happening to a lot of these kids. But I'm here to help them with that. I'm here to help them get through that. I'm tired. Like it's easy to just to bow down because I make this much amount of money. And I mean, there's so much more money to be made. You got to let these kids know and try to push them, like let them know I have your back. You're a dog. You're a pro. You got to go there and prove it. I mean, you don't want to be the only person that's going to stop you from being a pro is yourself. And you don't want that to happen. So I just got to push these kids, put them in the right direction, keep them respectful off the court as well as on the court, and just play basketball.
Mike, appreciate it. Love that you're back in the college game.
Thank you.
Really rooting for Sac State to have great success under your leadership.
I appreciate it, Andy. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on, too.
Thanks for watching and listening, everyone. And as always, you can follow all our social media content at The Sideline with a K. Our content appears on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube, TikTok, X, and Instagram. Check out all the content at The Sideline with a K.